The Refs Roundtable. I am your host with Jeff the Ref here, and I am joined with my co-host Mike Kelleher. How are you doing tonight, Mike?
I'm great, Jeff. How you doing?
I am doing wonderful. We are getting ready for NXT Takeover Portland.
Oh yeah.
This is NXT's very first time that they are actually on their own without one of the big boys backing them up, on a Sunday. So this is the first time that Takeover's been on a Sunday. So it's actually kind of a big event for them to be doing it on their own, So I'm looking forward to it. What about you?
Oh yeah. I mean, the NXT brand is really interesting just by itself, and with everything coming up as the year gets rolling, this could be a really important pay-per-view. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where this takes us. I mean, this is going to take us into WrestleMania weekend, of course, with WrestleMania right around the corner here.
Yeah.
And then you're going to have NXT TakeOver WrestleMania weekend. But I think that this is going to lead into possible WrestleMania, ramifications, and see where it goes from there. So, okay, before we get to our predictions, go ahead, Mike. Why don't we tell everybody a little bit about you really fast? Have you ever been involved in the wrestling business in any way, shape, or form?
Other than as a diehard fan for basically my whole life, no. And that's something I really thought was important to share with everybody. You've been involved in the wrestling business, both as a fan, as a professional.
Yeah.
You worked in the wrestling business. I have not.
Nope.
So, my take on things is probably a little different than a lot of folks. I am first and foremost a fan. So I don't read spoilers. I don't read rumors and backstage stuff. I stay away from it, actually. And my whole thing is I just want to go along for the ride and have fun. And that doesn't mean I can't come up with my own ideas as to who's going to win a match. But, if people are looking to, say things about my picks and whatever because I'm right or wrong, I mean, I'm not even going to worry about it.
I mean, honestly, that's the honest truth. And you look at it from a set of eyes that I at times am jealous of, because I wish that I still had that same, without looking at the news sites and without, having the insight that I do from being inside the business and knowing the different things. I mean, you do look at it from a different side, which I think is a lot more, in a way, it's still like what we were when we were kids growing up. You're still able to sit back and enjoy it from that set of eyes that we did when we were kids.
Absolutely. But now I have the perspective of being an adult.
There you go.
To balance things out and come up with different ideas. And, sometimes it's just me coming up with what I would like to see. And most of the time, that's not what I'm going to end up seeing. But at the end of the day, we can have a laugh about it and, just see who's better at picking the matches.
Well, I'll say for one person, me and you have never seen eye to eye on, that I'm a big, huge, mega fan of, is Bray Wyatt. And you could, I no matter how much I try to sell you on him, you just can't get behind him. But maybe one day I could get you to come around.
Well, you know what? That's an interesting point, and I'm going to bring that back up at a later time. So,
all right. Well, let's get into our picks for today. Yeah. Let's go ahead. We're going to run down the. We're going to just start from match one and run it all the way down to the end, and what all we think is going to happen here. We got our first match of the night is going to be Dakota Kai.
Jeff, let's let everybody know what we're going to do.
Oh, yes. Me and him have already written down our match predictions ahead of time. We are going to hold them up when we announce the match. We're going to hold up what our prediction is, and that way there is no discretion.
Show.
It's straight off the cuff, and not this show, but for future shows, for future pay-per-views coming up that we're going to do our predictions on, we're going to let you guys pick a bet for us. Whether it's Jeff's got to hold up a sign that says Mike is the ruler of the world, or whatever you can come up with, Can't really say shave the head because Mike's already got that going, and I'm halfway there. So,
Hey,
but you never know.
never
So
know.
here we go. We're gonna start first match. Dakota
Okay.
Kai, Tegan Knox. I got Dakota Kai right there.
Well, Jeff, I'm going to go the exact opposite. I'm going Tegan Knox.
Okay. All right. I don't know if we can pick mine up or not, but mine's written down in pen. I'm going to have to write mine in black like you. But I'm going Dakota Kai. I think that this is her time to finally get the comeback on Tegan. Tegan's definitely, I mean, she turned on her. She's beat her down. It's going to be a street fight, which I think is interesting for two females to have a street fight. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a good match.
Yeah, I just I think Dakota is really bringing a lot of heat lately. Mm-hmm. I think they might want to simmer that just a little bit longer before they let Dakota get the win. So that's why I picked Tegan.
All right. Good choice there. All right, now, next match of the night we're going to go with here. We got Finn Balor and Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, and I have Finn Balor.
Oh, my God, we actually agree.
Okay. All right. Finn Balor has really started coming back into his own now that he's back in NXT, that he's off of the big main roster, if anybody wants to call it that. And him as a heel has just been amazing watching him on the mic. I mean, I've really been enjoying it, this new, if you want to call it, new Finn character that he's developing.
Well, I'll say this much. For the guy that was the Universal Champion before he got hurt, and a guy that could literally work with anybody, he really struggled to find a place on the main roster for a period of time. Like he was great for months and months and months, and then it's just like the floor fell out from underneath him, and they couldn't find a good place for him.
I think that it was like he got hurt, and when he did, he lost all momentum that he had. I mean, because unfortunately, when you're getting that big push behind you, and you're getting that world title run, to go down right then for a 6-month or even a 9-month period like he did, that's a long time. And the fans tend to forget, and they tend to, unless you are way over like a Daniel Bryan when you went out, they don't really care as much about you when you come back sometimes.
Well, and that's an interesting comparison between him and Daniel Bryan, because Daniel Bryan was never supposed to come back. So Finn Balor was just hurt, and every indication was he would be back. So I'll just say that, I really I looked at it from a slightly different angle, even though we came up with the same outcome. I thought Johnny coming back, I think it's just too soon for him. I think he had a great match this past week, but at the same time, it would be. The fans will be behind him and wanting him to get that win. But at the same time, I just don't see it.
I don't either. Now let's get into the first title match of the night that we got here, the North American title match. Keith Lee versus, I have a hard time saying his name, Donovan whatever. I can't say his last name, but
let's call him Dominic.
Yeah, Dominic. There you go. For North American title, I got Keith Lee.
Well, you know what? They say lightning never strikes twice, but it did. We picked the same one on that, even though I am becoming a lot more of a fan of Dominic lately.
Yes, sir.
Heck of a guy. Big talent there. But Keith Lee, isn't this the last, aren't they ending this chapter with this match or something like that?
Yeah, they've already faced each other, I want to say maybe 3 or 4 other times, and each match that they have had, they've just, been one right after the other, been really just, they meshed well together. They even teamed up in the Dusty Rhodes Classic, or the tournament, tag tournament.
Broserweights win?
Yeah, the ones that the Broserweights won the Dusty Rhodes Memorial, the Cup. whatever you want to call it, the boot. I don't know what you want to call it, but anyway, but Keith Lee and Dominic, they have good chemistry. They have great matches. I could see this being a match of the night, and just because the size of those two, I would recommend anybody, if you have not seen these two go at it, watch it. I mean, you got a guy who stands like 6'5" and moves around like he's a cruiserweight. Another one who's like 6'3" and he's like 330 pounds and he moves around like a cruiserweight. It's insane.
I mean, but then again, it's crazy to see the Viking Raiders, and there's a lot of big dudes that are really bucking the conventional thought about how athletic they can be.
I'd never in my wildest days would have ever thought that I would have seen a guy the size of a Dusty Rose doing a senton, but I do.
Yeah.
So go figure that.
Yeah.
Now, let's get into our tag title matchup. That's going to be what we got next.
Okay.
Who do you got pick? I'm going with the Broserweights.
Oh, good. We did not pick the same. I'm going Undisputed Era all the way.
All right. Okay. Well, look here, bro. I like Matt Riddle. I like Pete Dunne. I think the two of them together. I mean, you got the traditional English, no nonsense, kick your teeth down your throat guy, and then you got the laid back, hey, bro, which is actually legit. That's Matt Riddle all the way. This is a guy who literally got fired from the UFC because he kept failing his marijuana test. No other drug, just marijuana. But
well, I'll put it to you like this, man. If I had to pick out of those two teams who I'd rather hang out with, it's the Broserweights all day long.
Right,
but
there you go.
These guys, you know what? They're very different. And sure, there's been a history of odd couple tag teams that have come together and had a lot of good success. It's possible they could win, but I think overall, just the continuity between the Undisputed Era is going to carry them through this match.
Well, I mean, I would agree with you. I mean, I got the Broserweights picked. I think that I'm just going with the momentum of the Broserweights right now. And I really think, but you're right about the Undisputed Era. They came from ROH, as many people may or may not know. They were known as Red Dragon over there. Multiple time ROH World Tag Team Champion. Come over here, they've dominated in NXT. I mean, you cannot go wrong with success. So I think that's a toss-up, that match is. So we'll see who's right on that one. We'll see who's wrong. I'm thinking the Broserweights. You're going Undisputed. We'll see who's right at the end of the night tonight, Mike.
Okay.
All right, here we go. We're going to go with the women's NXT title match next. This one is really interesting, and I got Rhea Ripley as my pick.
Well, Mr. Ref, I'm going to just show you who I've got. Can you read that?
Wow.
Yeah.
He is going with the Bianca Belair with the upset, possibly.
Yes, and here's why.
Okay, go.
I know that the conventional wisdom and logic on this is that Rhea Ripley is going to go and face Charlotte, okay?
Yep.
That's no mystery. However, I think there is one of two things that could happen here between now and Mania, okay?
Uh-huh.
One of them is Belair wins today, and then she can lose the belt again to Rhea before Mania.
Okay.
Or, and hear me out on this, I'm going to go way out on a limb. I'm going to say Bianca wins, and then some way, shape, or form, they make it a triple threat with Bianca, Rhea, and Charlotte.
To be honest with you, I did go with Rhea just because of the I am going with the conventional thought of Rhea and Charlotte being the match that people are banking on at WrestleMania. And they have had Charlotte down there NXT. However, Mike, you are actually in agreement with everybody here in my household right now.
Really?
From Trey Day to Angry Mark Dave to Latino Heat, they all three are saying the same thing, that they can see a triple threat coming down at WrestleMania with Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and Charlotte Flair. With Charlotte coming in tonight shenanigans leading to
Could be.
whether Bianca wins or Rhea gets whatever, but interference, therefore leading to that triple threat.
Yeah, and I swear, I don't read anything. I don't
Nope.
know, but in my heart, I was thinking Bianca she's a fast rising star.
She is.
She's got a lot that could propel her further. So why not capitalize? Why leave her out? Anyway, that's my thought.
I mean, well, what kind of, and just really quick also, in addition to what all you're saying, to kind of agree in agreement with you, but what's kind of throwing me off is here you got this triple threat match, or not a triple threat. You got this women's title match that they have been hyping for the last month and a half or month or so. And then all of a sudden you're going to throw Charlotte into the mix. And then it's like, what are we supposed to forget about this NXT title match tonight and think nothing of it and just, oh, well, Rhea's going to win as a foregone conclusion, like I'm assuming. So I think that you're right. There very well could be something that happens.
And then you know what? I thought of this too, and I'm glad you said what you just said, because it reminded me that we're all shortchanging Bianca Belair. All Flair cares about is the belt, no matter who has the belt. So maybe it could end up being Bianca versus Charlotte.
Interesting, because now here's the thing too, and it's actually what one of my roommates, Angry Mark Davis, I called him, pointed out what he said. Charlotte needs to be in there, and if it is a three-way, she'll be there to kind of help those two to guide the match, so that the match is not, so that they're not too nervous going into it. You're talking to WrestleMania with two girls that have been down only in NXT, who haven't been in front of that 80,000 like Charlotte has. So,
I mean, they were in the Women's Rumble, but not the same thing at all. They were with, 5.
I'm not taking away from what they've done. No, not at all. But
it's not the same.
It's not WrestleMania. I'm sure, and I have never been there. I've never even been to a Mania. I would love to go, but I'm sure that the nerves are like 10 times as much as they are for any other event.
Oh, they're not. Something's wrong.
Yeah. So let's get into it. The final match of the night, the main event, the one that people are talking about. Is the Goldie going to come home to daddy, or is Adam Cole going to retain? My pick. Adam Cole, baby.
And you are so wrong, because Tommaso Ciampa is going to win.
Wow, we are in disagreement. It looks like only agreeing on 2. So, hey, tonight will be interesting, Mike, on how we how this turns out. I'll tell you what, the Tommaso Ciampa Adam Cole match, another possible. Any one of these matches, honestly, from the women to the men on down, have the potential to be the show stealer. But I could see Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa just really going out there having a 30-minute classic that we're talking about next year.
Yeah, I mean, and it's one of these things. What's the next step for these guys? Could you see? I don't know. I mean, I could see to a certain degree, or in certain circumstance, either of them being promoted up to one of the main roster shows. But I don't know
I'll give you a little bit. I know you don't read insider information, so I will give you a little bit of insider info really quick. Ciampa has already said he does not want to leave NXT. He has been offered to go up to the main roster 3 different times, and he's told them no every time. He enjoys the fact that he is able to be home at least 3 to 4 days a week without having to be on the road. He enjoys the fact of his travel's taken care of, hotels are taken care of, air flight, everything's taken care of with NXT. So he'd rather take that hit and pay versus making $300,000 and having to worry about your travel and having to worry about your hotel and having to worry about your food expense, when he can be at home with this brand new kid who was just born, who was a miracle child in his eyes, that he can now watch grow up. So I think you're going to have more guys that are going to be like Ciampa, but I can see if Adam Cole's going to get called, he needs the other Undisputed Era with him, and we need the Four Horsemen 2.0 to be up there in the WWE.
Well, it's funny with what you just said. I think that's even more reason for Tommaso to win, because let's get the belt off of Cole, and maybe Cole goes up
and brings Gargano and or not Gargano, brings Roddy and the rest and Undisputed with them, and we beef up that tag division a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? But
I could actually see Adam Cole fitting in over at maybe on the SmackDown roster right now more than Raw.
Yeah,
I could see Undisputed Era being over there. I really could. It wrecking shop and really cause a wrecking havoc and just.
Wait. You say Havoc?
Yeah,
Jeff, I got to tell you, I'm a little upset. My VCU Rams have lost 2 games in a week.
Oh no.
And, the home of Havoc is not happy right now.
Yeah, that's the VCU. See, I could cheer on the VCU Rams. They're no longer in the same division as ODU.
And ODU, we still play ODU, but
no, I know, but they're not no longer in the same NCAA division. So,
well, Jeff, I am really looking forward to seeing how this all shakes out tonight.
Yes,
so
yes, sir. We are less than 2.5 hours away from NXT TakeOver Portland tonight. I'm looking forward to it. So,
well, hey, so I guess when we do our refs roundtable, the next episode, we'll recap the matches and see who was right and wrong.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I plan on. We will go over a couple of the news tidbits. We're going to go over NXT TakeOver Portland match by match and maybe break it down a little bit and analyze it just a hair, and then who was right, who was wrong, who came out on top, who is the winner, who's the loser. Mike thinks he's going to be the king. I think I am the guru for a reason. We'll see who is going to be the winner of it all. Oh, yeah, and don't forget, we do have that infamous tale of me and Mike pretty much getting catfished before phones, before the internet, before all that existed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's
young 14, 15-year-old boys not knowing any better.
But we learned a valuable lesson.
That we did. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to tune in later this week for the Ref Roundtable. I am Jeff the Ref with my co-host Mike Kelleher. Thank you for tuning in tonight, and we will see you next time on the Ref Roundtable. Good night, everyone.
Peace.
All right. Thank you so much there, Mikey.
Welcome. Thank you.